guys, how are you? Welcome to the Simply Teen Nicole vlog, and today I have a special guest. This is Heavy, and I'm here because it's our anniversary.
Yeah, 10
Yay!
years.
10 whole big long years of bliss and love. I'm going to lower the music down now. Okay, today we are going to talk about 10 ways to have a healthy marriage. And if you see me looking down, that's because we have our trusted notes. We had to work on this. So we wanted to, in honor of our 10-year anniversary, we want to talk about 10 ways to have a healthy marriage. And by all means, these things may or may not work for you, but we just wanted to share what works in our marriage. And if you get just one thing or nothing from it, I just hope that you guys enjoy listening to us and seeing us. The first one, hubby's going to take it away because he is a guest on my show.
And the first one is create boundaries. Creating boundaries within your marriage is very important, especially if you have a close-knit family or really tight friendships. You know, you have to create boundaries within the marriage to keep to make sure that your house is respected and your partner feels comfortable at all times. You know, and if you have, you know, people coming over or calling at certain times of night when it should be you and your spouse spending quality time with each other, it could get in the way if you constantly entertain it. So sometimes you have to say, oh, not today.
Or not at this hour.
Not at this hour. You know, hit me back at this time, or, you know, I'll get back to you. I'll call you back, or come over another day. You know, just make sure that your spouse doesn't feel neglected or feel any type of way.
Okay. Number 2 is learn what makes the other partner happy. For example, when we first got married, I don't like basketball. I really don't like basketball that much. Me and my grandmother used to watch baseball. So, you know, he loves basketball. So I actually started going to the basketball games because it would be not a lonely road because he can always find his guy friends to go. But just because I don't like it doesn't mean that I can't go and try to enjoy it because he enjoys it, and vice versa. He don't like making YouTube videos, but he's here.
Be transparent. Yes, open communication, being transparent gives a very healthy marriage. You know, sometimes you have to eat a couple of words in that transparency because it may not be what you want to hear.
Definitely.
And, you know, this main thing is keeping that line of communication open, discussing things that may bother you, discussing things that you would like to improve with your spouse, you know, and just try not to hold back, not being insulting, of course, but just keeping that communication open, and both parties have to be able to receive and accept what they're hearing without getting angry.
Okay. Continue to date one another. I think this is a huge one.
Having fun.
Yes, definitely. We have 2 munchkins. One is 4 and the other one is 6. So finding that time together becomes very, very, very challenging and very hard. But when we do find that time, it's just like, let's go. And then it also brings out your creativity. So even, our children are included sometimes in our date nights, and that's okay because it turns into for them it's family time and they get to socialize with themselves. So do whatever you need to do for each other to build that relationship with one another, so that it doesn't become stale, stagnant, and something where it just seems so routine that it becomes boring.
Be consistent. Yes. As you know, consistency is important. Helps your spouse feel the stability, comfort, and it could be a variety of things. You could be consistent with telling your spouse how nice he or she looks.
Right. I love that.
Yes, she's looking good. She's looking very good now.
Thank you.
And even in helping around the house, just being consistent,
Yes.
so everything doesn't fall on one person.
Yeah. The next one is confide in each other and keep each other's secrets. That goes with just, in a marriage and any type of friendship that, you establish, and you and your husband are established each other as best friends. So if he tells me something and I go and tell my family, that's really breaking the level of trust between the two. Or if I go and tell his family something that he's told me in confidence. So you definitely want to make sure that in a marriage that you maintain each other's trust, and that you be able to feel like you can confide in one another. Because when either spouse feels that they can't confide in each other, that kind of breaks the trust, and then you start to feel in your head like you feel distant from the person, and you do not want to create that kind of atmosphere.
Pray together.
Big one.
Yes, always keep God as that third strand that keeps the cord strong.
Yes.
Praying together, it automatically just brings you and your spouse together closer than you would have if you weren't. It's like you guys can communicate on a spiritual level, a different level.
Definitely.
And in our experience, I've seen it add a very nice dimension to our marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And something that, in the beginning I didn't, but now I look forward to. And it's really something that I see is a lot of value. It's like hard to place it within this list. This could have been number one on the list.
Yes, definitely.
Because once you have that, then once God is in the middle, everything
Don't be trying
else
to play my
falls
list.
in place. No, I was just saying, you know.
Look, he ain't create this
gotta
list, so
say
you
the
ain't
best.
got
Yeah,
iTunes. You
I
ain't got
was just
no.
saying.
Come on now.
She saved the best for last. Of course,
Don't take each other for granted, and it kind of ties into what I was saying before. You don't want your marriage to get stale and stagnant, so just always kind of create this spark, this newness between the two of you. And if you see your spouse always cooking, or you see your spouse always doing something, don't take that for granted. Don't say in your head, well, she always do that, or well, he always does that. No, it's a blessing that they're doing that every single day, because it's taking consistency to do that, and it's taking something. Sometimes they may not even want to do it. For example, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my obligations are to take care of the kids and make sure, when he gets home, that dinner is there. Do I always feel like doing that? No. For example, and then him, he's the one who always goes, because I don't drive. He's the one that always goes to the supermarket. Does he always feel like going to the supermarket? No. So just whatever your partner does, don't take it for granted that they're doing it, because sometimes they don't want to do it, but because of love, they're going out of their way and doing it anyway.
Right. Respect each other's space. Yeah. Space is good. You know, it helps.
But not too much space.
No, not too much space. You know, I get. I guess I get my space. Really like my alone space when I'm watching Game of Thrones or Walking Dead because she hates those shows.
Yes, I do.
You know, or occasionally if I watch a sporting event. But yeah, it's definitely needed. You know.
And even time away with your friends. We
Yes.
each need that time, to separate. And then when we come back, we're like, hey, boo.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Much needed. Just to kind of step away from the regular day to day and kind of let your hair down in a sense. It gives you that urge to can't wait to see your partner again. Very important.
Definitely. And the last one is finding a marriage counselor. In our story has been very special. We felt that we needed more intervention, more counseling before we got married because we each had our own baggage that we kind of came in with. And we felt that we needed some marriage counseling after we got married. But we have a wonderful couple, Pam and Danny Ray, and actually I can put their information. They are dynamic. They're actually called dynamic marriage counselors, and they are amazing. So
I've been recommending them to
we
other
definitely recommend them. So definitely find, or if it's not marriage counselors, definitely find another couple, a married couple to link with, so you guys can share experiences and just don't feel so alone and isolated, because sometimes in marriage you can wind up feeling really alone and really isolated, but not so much, because every marriage has their things. Every marriage deals with situation because you're dealing with two imperfect people. So that was our 10 ways to have a healthy marriage, and we're happy about being able to do this YouTube channel for you, and later on in life we can share our testimony about how we overcame some things. But for today, it's on a very celebratory note. And on that note, we hope that you enjoyed what we had to say. And we will talk to you guys later. Bye.
See you later.